Welcome back to a new video. If you're new, I'm Megan Wotring and this is Wotring's World. And today I thought I'd film a video just to talk a little bit more about me. Last week I posted a video about Wotring's World, the channel, and why I started it and what you can kind of expect to see. So if you wanted to take a look at that, I will leave that linked. But please make sure that you turn on post notifications, that you subscribe, that you like, that you do all the things, you know what I'm talking about. So this is a 25 questions about me tag. So this is just a short fun video that I made telling you 20 things about me that you may not know, what I like and who I am, and more things that make up me and my world. So let's get started. Okay, question 1, what is my coffee order? I love coffee, just a lot of coffee, that is my order, but I love my Nespresso machine, and when I go out to a coffee shop, if it's in the winter, I'll probably get a cortado, and if it's in the summer, I'll get like iced coffee or a cold brew. But basically, I haven't met a coffee that I didn't like. Okay, question number 2 is a fear that I have. I am terrified of snakes. Absolutely hate them. I am not the girl to get a pet snake. Absolutely not. When I go on hikes with my friends, I'm always looking down at the ground to make sure that I don't step on a snake, step over a snake. That is like 1000% my biggest fear. Recently, my parents in the Poconos had a snake in their house. Like, I had to recently confront this fear. It was terrifying. And a snake, like the door wasn't closed fully, and a snake got in through like the storm door, and it was like next to the door jamb on the inside of the house. And me and my poor vision, I stepped over it like multiple times before my mom told me. She was like, there's a snake. I screamed and ran. It had a toad in its mouth. It was disgusting. Like, absolutely not. Okay, next question is some place that I want to travel. I really want to go everywhere since this pandemic. I really haven't been many places, but next on my list is Switzerland. I'm going to go in the summer and I want to go in the winter. I love to ski. I also love to hike. I love to bike. I just love being outside in nature. And I've been to Switzerland just to the airport, but I am dying to go there and to go skiing. It looks absolutely incredible. Rick Steves is my favorite, like, relaxing travel show, and I love watching all of his series on Switzerland. My favorite movie of all time would have to be Legally Blonde. It's just like a feel-good, classic movie, girl power, and sometimes when you're having a bad day and you feel like things are just not going your way, you just like need a good Elle Woods pep talk. Number 5, something that really annoys you or like is your biggest pet peeve. I'm gonna say rudeness. I hate when people are like unnecessarily rude. I'm like the queen of manners. I just like my pleases and my thank yous, and I like when people are genuinely kind, like they're genuinely kind. Also, I hate wasting time. It drives me crazy. Like, I absolutely hate it. Definitely stems back to my cruise line days. Like, they're wasting time absolutely drives me crazy. Can't stand it. I hate when things are inefficient. It's just like really bothers me. Next one is, what is my job? So my job is a teacher. I'm certified in Spanish, English, family consumer science, and history, which just means that I can legally teach all of these in a public school. But I currently teach family consumer science. More specifically, I teach nutrition, I teach food prep, so it's like basic cooking techniques, and like knife skills. And I also teach Life on Your Own, which is basically like an adulting class. So resumes, how to buy a house, how to cook, resumes, how to send a professional email. And I also teach world food. So it's just like international cuisines, and it's like a step up technique-wise in the kitchen. My favorite color, I would have to say, is blue. I love blue. I love wearing the color blue. I love it in decor. I love it in nature. I love that blue of the ocean. Sometimes when it's really dark, there's just like so many shades. I love the blue of the sky. Blue is my favorite color. I absolutely love blue. My favorite holiday, we've been on some really great holidays Wait, do you mean like the British holiday or like the American holiday? Like holiday as in like Christmas? Because like I love Christmas. I just think everybody's nicer and I just love all the decorations and just like so many fun activities. Love Christmas, love decorating for Christmas, just love the whole thing. And I also really like buying presents. I'm like, not competitive, but like I really enjoy finding presents for people. I just do. I really enjoy it. But also like my favorite holiday, as in like a trip or vacation. When I was working on a cruise line, my mom, dad, and my brother all got to come the same week and we had a family vacation. I mean, I still worked 50 hours, so it was like a kind of vacation for me. But that was like one of my favorite memories. Just like, I only saw them like once or twice that year, and that was like the only time we were all together, all four of us. And Alaska is gorgeous. One of my favorite places I've ever been, especially on a cruise ship. Highly recommend it if you can ever go and swing a trip. But that was such a special memory for me and one of my top favorite holidays of all time. My favorite memory. This is a really hard one. I've had some really good memories. I've had a really wonderful life. I'm gonna have to I'll go with singing the national anthem for NASCAR. I love singing. I really enjoy NASCAR. The people there are lovely and I had wanted to do it for ages. So that first time was just like such a special moment. And this last time I sang was really special as well because it was after the pandemic. If I could be any animal, what would I be and why? I would be, I'm gonna go with my first instinct. I would be a golden retriever. First of all, they're just so happy. They just want to be around people and they just want to be petted and they just want to have a good time and they get to go swimming and they get to go on road trips and I don't know, I just think like golden retriever is where where it's at. I can't speak. Had too much coffee, if that's even a thing. What's my favorite book to read? I love a good mystery. I love mystery books. Like, grew up reading the Nancy Drew books. I absolutely loved them. Now that I'm an adult, I love reading Agatha Christie. Probably one of my favorites is Pocketful of Rye. I love rereading that. Like, I will reread it 1,000 times. I will go back and read almost all of her books again. They're so good. Yeah, so definitely Agatha Christie. She's my favorite author. Okay, my go-to karaoke song, it really depends on the group, but a strong group number, Bohemian Rhapsody, an obvious favorite. If not, definitely an ABBA song like Waterloo. Like, you need something that's gonna get the crowd pumped up, so definitely one of those two. What's one thing that people don't know about me? That my major in college was Spanish education, and that I actually speak Spanish because I lived in Spain and studied abroad there. Okay, my proudest accomplishment. I've got a lot, but I'm gonna say probably singing the national anthem for NASCAR at the Pocono Raceway. I always wanted to do it and just kept working at it, and they finally had a slot open for me and I've been singing for them ever since, and it's just something that I love to do. Favorite TV shows. My favorite TV shows would have to be, I'm gonna say Dairy Girls and Schitt's Creek. I mean, who am I if I don't love Schitt's Creek? But I love Dairy Girls. It's on Netflix. My family's Irish, so it's honestly sometimes like watching some of my family members talk, so I think it's really funny. Up next, I love Marvel. I definitely want to start watching this summer WandaVision and Loki, and I'm really excited to see Black Widow. My biggest recent purchase would have to be this house, like this condo. It's the most money I've ever spent in my entire life. Other than that, recently I purchased a dresser, and that was like my biggest recent purchase, and that'll be coming like the first week of August, so I'm really excited for that to get here so I can finally put all my clothes away. Okay, it says chauffeur, maid, or cook, so I have to pick between the three. when I was driving and commuting a lot, I would have said chauffeur hands down, because that just like takes up so much of your life and is like so stressful, especially if you're going to like New York City or Philadelphia. So I would have said chauffeur like 2 years ago. I like to cook, so I will ignore the cook, but honestly, a maid. How amazing would it be to have somebody just like vacuum for you, make sure the dishes were done? Yeah, maid, 10 out of 10, a maid. That would be my choice if I could have one person help me keep my life together. My favorite meal, it sometimes changes, but I would say consistently, I've always loved pasta as a little kid, and my favorite pasta would be pasta bolognese. Fresh pasta, delicious meat sauce with lots of tomatoes and Parmesan cheese. And the last question is my favorite place in the world. I mean, home, like that's my favorite place in the world, which is here. It's with my family, where I grew up, but it's also Spain. To me, that also feels like home too. But basically, wherever the people I love are, that's where my favorite place in the world is.